All right, we are here for our first round of the Duskmourn Top 8 Mega Draft. We got Aaron, who we saw drafting, against Monkey Mage, so Michael B. And we saw Michael draft we saw his deck after the Is It deck with not too many rares, so he didn't use too many spots on those rares.
Looks like Michael's gonna send back the this one-liner here.
Okay, what's he working with over there?
Well, it's a one-liner. Yeah, he hit mulligan, and now there's zero-lander. Looks like not a great. Now there's a six-lander. So 5 cards, and there's gonna be one demand answers, which is discard a card, draw two. So not the
Yeah.
worst.
Or you can second artifact, I believe. So, okay hand here for Aaron. He's got to consider here that he can cast right away. Two islands, and then he's got three black cards. So he's going to need to dig to his swamp here, but he's got a Lazav, Doom Dissenter. He's got the Barter in Blood as well, which is that sacrifice two creatures card.
Yeah, the barter
Yeah,
and
so
blood.
something like a Barter in Blood is likely to be good against something like an Izzet deck, just because the Izzet deck will traditionally have less creatures in their deck, more spell focused deck. And he
Mm-hmm.
did get that swamp just on time there after putting the Desperate Farmer in the graveyard.
Uh, Whispering Wizard was the card that was kept on top with the surveillance drawn this turn.
Okay. So looks like
Stalked
Lazav's going to
Researcher.
have free reign here to attack, right?
Yeah, there's a stalked researcher coming next turn, most likely, unless he thirsts
Okay,
for
that's the 3
meanings, which
3.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, how often do you think he's going to be able to attack with that, or does he just want it for the defender? I wonder.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's the defensive play here. There's a thirst for meaning in 2 lands besides
Okay.
the wizard, so we'll see what
So he's drawing
wizards
Olivia's
likely.
Midnight Ambush, which he could use here in combat to keep attacking with Lazav.
Looking good. I mean, the 2 card disadvantage is not helping right now for Michael.
Yeah, so I believe Michael was at 66. I think Aaron was at 68 or 69. But I know for Aaron, like, he's playing most of his rares. So he does just have a lot of rares in the deck. Yeah, so he's going to Midnight Ambush here just to get this researcher off the field. And then he's going to draw a card end of turn. Yeah, his hand is Barter and Blood and two islands. So he needs to find some action here, but at least he's got something going on board.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
Celestis drawn, there's ways to draw cards.
I wonder if Aaron just wishes he would have saved his Midnight Ambush here. But he does have enough murders in his deck to hopefully find one.
That's what I was thinking.
All right, so Clandestine Meddler in hand, which is that one that could give a creature suspect, and then you can
Yeah,
surveil one.
I
Imagine
remember that
Lazav is
one.
going to be suspected, even though he's a detective, so he's a shady detective. Ooh, he sees a Trata on top. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, the other blue black rare.
Yep. Well, he has Drag the Canal as well, so they all came like pretty close to in succession. Celestis, I always like that card. I'm kind of sad they took it out of Cube because I used to pick that card pretty high.
Now, Thirst for Meaning draws 2 cards, so it's going to trigger Wizard on the opponent's turn, I think. Happens once
Well,
per
it's
turn.
just a non-creature, right? So
Oh, is that what
it
it is?
gets triggered off of non-creature.
Okay, not off of drawing a second card. I
Nope.
keep forgetting. Give me
Yeah,
that
so
back.
you can make one flyer each turn with it.
Looks like that'll happen here.
Yeah, Thirst for Meaning was a card I never really liked. Too often it was just draw three, discard two, which is not an acceptable card. But if you have enough enchantments or specifically enchantments that you could do something with in the graveyard potentially, that now we're talking. But well, at the time I felt it was a underperformer, I would say. And so he's going to attack here, gets to surveil. Does want to stay on the front foot. I mean, um, deciding if he wants to investigate here, and I think he probably does. He doesn't have anything that can get something out of the graveyard, so
Yeah, that getting in a, basically drawing just for exiling one
I
of
think
your
he's
cards.
hoping to maybe surveil or removal to the top, draw it with the clue, and just kill this whispering wizard before it can do more damage. Well, that's a perfect card to dump in the graveyard.
Oh, the escape card.
Yeah, so Thirst for Meaning here. Likely going to be draw 3, discard 2, which again is just. Yeah, that card was always an underperformer for me, but.
The Duskmourn card, Fear of Death.
Ah, there it goes. Okay, so. Yeah, I guess maybe because of all the open mana, it's respecting the open mana and not blocking the Lazav, but this Lazav is just doing a number on this game.
Well, there are two more non-creature spells in hand: Tormenting Voice and Abrade, so you can get another two flyers in a one turn cycle, basically.
Yeah,
Tormenting Voice draws two if you discard one.
right, so he's just deciding what he wants to do here between Organ Hoarder and Etrata, and he just says, let me give it Organ Hoarder. All right, here's my murder. He's just going to probably take murder. Yeah.
Can't cast it yet.
All right, so the Whispering Wizard has one more turn cycle to live, but it will do something in that turn cycle.
Yeah, no Armor of the Forge was picked up, so it's able to remove stuff here with along with Abrade.
Which one did he pick up?
Moment of the Forge.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hoping it to cast it here at sorcery speed.
So if he wants to make two 1/1s, he can Tormenting Voice or Omen now and then Abrade later, or he can Abrade.
Yeah, Tormenting is sorcery speed, but yeah, the two removal spells could both be at instant speed, depending he's deciding which to do. There's an island in hand to pitch the Tormenting Voice, so
Okay,
it's all
so
fun.
yeah, so Michael's like playing a bit of catch up here, but he's doing a pretty okay job. So
Yeah, getting free 1/1s.
like
So.
Aaron's just ahead on most metrics here, but Michael still has a bunch of life to work with and a removal in hand. But Lazav has done obviously a lot of work here.
Two draws were island and a mountain, so I mean they could be pitched to Celestis, he's deciding whether he wants to play it out.
Okay, he's just gonna pass. All right, Lazav gets to draw another card here. Well, he gets to draw another card because of Lazav.
Shields are down. I'm sure he would want to
He's just
abrade
gonna
it, but
Abrade
yeah,
on upkeep here.
exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, because you get the 1/1.
I mean, can't really do anything in response here. Imagine he's going to take this chance to murder the Whispering Wizard before Michael can untap and do more damage with it.
The card advantage situation is well in Aaron's favor,
Yeah, I mean, Lazav is a 2 drop that made 4 clues. Like, I mean,
and the Malta 5. So
yeah, that helps as well for Aaron. But yeah, even with normal starting hands, Aaron would still be up quite a number of cards here.
oh, is he? This is before draw step, so he can't. Does Lazav trigger the transform? It might not even
You
matter.
can't
When on
transform a
second
card that
draw,
doesn't have a backside.
not transform, but to turn into a creature in the graveyard.
Oh, he could have, but
Oh,
there was no creature that. There was only a stalked researcher underneath.
survived it. Does it trigger off of sacking a clue or second draw of the turn? Was what I was wondering.
Sacrifice
Because
a
he
clue.
hadn't had it. Okay. Some things are second draw.
I have to imagine he's just going to murder this thing before it can make more flyers.
Yeah, it's right to do it.
I would not let my opponent untap here.
I think he's just doing combat step first, so the opponent's not aware of what the
Yeah,
board
makes
state's
sense.
going to be.
Unfortunately, his whole hand is black, so murder will be his only play for the turn.
Ooh, that's not good. You have the sleep thingy, though.
Okay, he's thinking about doing barter and blood here, I guess, just rather than murder. Maybe feeling like this is a better spot.
I could see it. He's not bound to get many creatures on board anytime soon, so
Yeah, and he does upgrade his Doom Dissenter, so Why not? And he has a clue to crack, or I mean, glimpse of freedom he can start doing eventually as well. But he'll
Not
crack
to
the loot
mention, you
first.
can you don't want to develop board if you're about to make both players sack two creatures. So he's doing it first.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was why he attacked first, right? See what opponent does. If opponent doesn't block, he can't play barter, right?
Yep.
Okay, Omen of the Forge is gonna dump this 2/2, so we're gonna have an empty board here, but one player with way more cards.
That's just gonna have to pull some weight. Another land. That's a lot in a row. It's gonna turn nighttime. Turn out the lights.
Yeah, that Olivia's Midnight Ambush that's in the graveyard would have done. Interesting that he's glimpsing rather than just cashing in the clue here.
Celestis is a sorcery speed to loot, isn't it? And he
Yes.
just didn't want to do that.
Oh, did he not know?
It could be that he doesn't know. Omen of the Forge is the only other thing possible to do. So.
Well, it's like the thing is, he gets his loot anyway here for free. It's the same thing,
Hmm.
right?
Except you have mana. Oh, I guess it's
It's the
true.
same
You just couldn't
difference.
develop a creature. Well, the only thing is if you drew a creature to play, you could
Oh,
develop
sure.
it.
Yeah, that is true.
But the relevant is Deny the Divine was drawn. Maybe relevant. Depends what's going to be played out.
Okay, so there's a Fester Leech here. I think he's gonna test the waters with this Leech, and if it does in fact get countered, we will get a Trata resolving.
There's another Fear of Death and an island on top.
Yeah, so Michael says, I don't care about this. So the Trata is the one
So,
that's going to eat the counter spell,
mhm.
almost assuredly. Yeah, okay. Not too much action left in hand here for Aaron. The one thing he has is the glimpse of freedom.
That was, I was about to say that was two spells cast, so they
Yeah, so he
count.
has a sporogenic infection, and he has a murder and two lands. So he can kill whatever is played, but there's okay, that thing is small.
Uh, Pyre Hound is in hand. That thing,
That can get big. Wow, I think he no
but yeah,
no that
that was
one it
not an
only triggers
instant.
off instant or sorcery.
Yeah, he had to. It's not the what do you call it? The weird.
There's been a lack of consistency. Well, some sets it's instant or sorcery, some sets it's non-creature. In foundations, it's both. If you look at the foundation card, some trigger off instant or sorcery, some trigger off non-creature
Yeah. Well, it's a foundation. Yeah.
because it's pulling cards from different sets.
Yeah. I
But
knew it was Pyre Hound, but I had forgotten what Pyre Hound did.
okay, so off goes the yeah. So the one cool thing about sporogenic infection is that you can absolutely target your own creature with it if your opponent only has one creature. And his creature.
Okay.
Okay, so Diverse Scab is obviously not getting the full extent of what the card can do, but it's a 3/5 here on an empty board, which he's not going to mess
Tempo
around too
Diver
much. He's not
Scab.
going to try and get greedy with it.
Tempo Diver Scab. Okay, so that's this with another mountain. I mean, that's a lot of lands. Oh, he wants to pass turn. Oh, it's second main.
Yeah, I guess he just values having the mana rather than tapping out during his turn, or tapping 3 mana during his turn.
The draw is a split card. Fuss Bother creates Doctors or buffs the board, something like that. Fuss Bother.
Um, was it 6 mana for
Yeah,
3 Thopters or something like that?
and Surveil too. And the other one is put a 1/1 on each count for 3 mana. Put a 1/1 on each attacking
Oh yeah, that card
creature.
was good.
Not so bad in this situation. Secrets of the Key. What? It's a great draw. You got Secrets of the Key now, and a Silent Hall creature is going
Yes,
to stay on
or
top.
as I like to call it, the 11 mana um, ancestral recall.
That's it. Celeste is doing work finding relevant cards
Yeah,
here.
so he's got soul enervation and murder and two lands, but he does have this glimpse of freedom that he can little by little start using to his advantage. He's just going to pass turn. He has all instant speed removal. Doesn't really want to use them on 1/1 flyers though. He'd rather use them on that. I imagine he's just going to use his removal right now before Michael can draw a way to stop the removal.
Pretty neat. The
Oh,
investigate's
okay.
gonna happen.
Interesting that he's letting him do this when he's just going to kill the Hull Creeper no matter what.
Yeah, he has the investigate token to draw so he can loot away maybe if he gets a land because the loot's gonna happen here after he just
Yeah,
casts two things.
yeah. I was just thinking for Aaron, like he's 100% killing the Hull Creeper, so why let your opponent resolve the spell that could draw him an answer to your removal? I
All
guess
creeper down.
Michael knows he doesn't have a 2 mana counterspell to that, so he just didn't crack the clue.
Oh, I don't know if that was how you wanted to do that.
Oh,
The draw discard happened immediately. It's one trigger, and he should have
can you choose
reacted
not to
with.
draw and discard, or do you have to?
I don't think it was a choice.
Oh,
I'll check.
I thought that you could choose, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'll look it up
Either
here.
way, that was a nice one that he discarded though. Unfortunately.
No, it's you May. It was a
Oh,
May.
so I think it was just perhaps an error because that 4 mana 2/1 can get back a instant or sorcery. I believe. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, if you just
But
craft the
did,
clue
did,
in
did he not
response,
did he not just loot again though with no cards in hand? Was that what I saw?
you did. I looked away and it looked so. It
Yeah, it
looked
was like a
so. Maybe
festival
he wants
crasher. Okay. Yeah.
maybe he wants the fester to be like minus 50 by the end of the game. That's the idea.
Achievement unlocked, I guess. But all right. So I mean, maybe we'll see. There's a reason he wants to fill his graveyard, but
There most probably is, but if you're gonna craft the clue, I
like
guess he wasted the
like
clue
he's the one in
crafting
the top
mana.
8, and we're the one sitting here. So and he's made top 8 what like every time, every league, I think, or something like that. And he won
There's
he
probably
won MH3 league. So Michael,
there's
I
most
suspect he knows what he's doing.
there's most certainly reasons to fill the graveyard, and one of them this is drawn Bedlam Reveler. It gets
Okay,
cheaper for
yeah, it costs 1 less for each instant sorcery in your graveyard.
and shock being discarded means Bedlam Reveler is 2 mana.
Oh, Defiled Crypt is kind of an interesting draw here, especially with Glimpse of Freedom, triggering that all
Oh
the
yeah.
time. Yeah, so you can just get back his like Organ Hoarder or Lazav, I guess. Probably. I mean, we'll see. He's got plenty of mana to play with here.
Other card in hand is Dramatic Accusation, which is aura that takes something out of
Yeah,
combat.
I'm glad he included this card. So it's a good one. Which is the card in his hand?
Dramatic Accusation with the Bedlam Renderer. That is it's an aura that it's a blue aura that takes something out of commission.
It
You could
taps. It
maybe
taps
play.
it,
Yeah,
and then you could play blue to shuffle the creature back in the deck. I believe.
that one.
Yeah, so he's gonna make a 2/2 here and get back something. So with Lazav, whenever Lazav attacks, it exiles a card from the graveyard, which will trigger the defiled crypt. Okay, so he
Neat.
decides to go for Organ Hoarder here just for instant card advantage. Oh, and he gets a Soul Innervation trigger, which I believe is like a drain.
Yeah, every time something leaves the graveyard, you're a lot
Oh,
of synergies you can do with that.
there's a Vile Mutilator there. That's got to be good.
It's not as good as sometimes. It just makes them sack a creature. He's
Well, it
got.
makes a non-token creature, which I don't believe he has any. So
Oh, really? Oh. Bedlam Reveler is bound to be attacking next turn after he plays out the hand. It lets you discard your hand to draw three, so pretty good in this situation.
yep, it's a 3/4 prowess for 8, but you could cost 1 less for every instant or sorcery you have in graveyard. Yeah, he did go for the Vile Mutilator here. He says, it doesn't make them sack anything now, but it's also just gigantic. And if they play something, they'll have to sack it. All right, we get another Celestis trigger. Yeah, this card I really, really liked. Like I said, I think they took it out of the cube, but I used to pick it high all the time.
Cathartic Pyre. Can it all be played? Yes, it can. Everything can be played for exact. Oh no, Celestis means one more mana than he needs.
Yeah, so I mean, Michael's kind of been like a bit behind the whole game, but he's clawing his way back in, trying to stay alive. This Vow Mutilator is going to make it very difficult.
Oh, he's drawing 3 cards here. What else is in the hand besides Vile Mutilator?
He's got a murder still and an island.
Oh, if you had one. Oh no, that thing happened on
Yeah,
ETB.
so what do we got for our triple draw here?
Storm Skrillex and Oriad of Mountain's Blaze, which is the red and one enchantment creature from Theros. It lets
Okay.
you rummage. Something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
pay 3 to rummage.
We don't have to tap for it.
So this Vile Mutilator actually got better because it's going to kill 2 creatures now. Because Vile Mutilator says opponent sacrifices a non-token enchantment and a non-token
Wow.
creature.
Wow.
So that Oriad actually being an enchantment is just a straight downside here.
Yeah, he's gonna realize that in a second, I believe.
Hopefully, Aaron has realized that his opponent has made this Vile Mutilator even better than it looked.
It's already blocking those pesky flyers, even if that wasn't the case. So he's bound to want it. Play it.
Yeah, he realizes. Let me just sack the Fester Leech here, or maybe I almost want to sack the tapped one just because the Fester Leech, if it got to the point where he needed a blocker, it still blocks.
Oh no, he has a dramatic accusation. He definitely should have sacked the
Oh,
dramatic.
oh well, the Fear of Death was in play anyway, so
No, wait. If
if you
you
sack the other
sack
one, the Fear of
Scab,
Death is still there. So
oh, they were both
he
here.
actually does not get to kill the Bedlam Reveler, but he has a murder, so.
Well, it's not nothing to get rid of the dramatic
Yeah,
accusation.
I think he'd rather have. Yeah, I think he probably knew that this was going to happen, and he said, "I'd rather have my Diver Scab unlocked than have one."
I forgot they're both removed with an aura. Yeah, both of them.
I mean, it's pretty safe to murder here, I think, and just get your opponent pretty close to dead. Yep, makes sense. All right, so yeah, we forgot about the auras there, but luckily Aaron did not, and he knew that he would rather have his Diver Scab unlocked from the negative aura than his 1/1.
This is a Flampler, so it's dangerous. Drag under was the draw, so not
I
much.
mean, recasting that, I mean, he doesn't actually get to kill anything. So
Draw was thirst for meaning. More card draw.
I mean, yeah, that's what the blue red deck wants is just cards.
Hilariously drawn a Pyroclasm.
So he's not going to play his Skrillex here because it just dies to the Mutilator.
Wait, Pyroclasm only has non-flyers, I
No,
guess.
Pyroclasm is everything.
Everything. I keep forgetting. There's so many variants. Yeah, so it's not a good draw for him.
Oh, he's got a twist reality here, which is nice. I mean, I think you still play Mutilator. You just sack your Soul Enervation and just play a 6/5 Flying Trample with no other words. Nothing wrong with that.
Gonna get in for attacks first.
Yep.
Seeing what he draws first. You got a mountain, a seize the storm, and an infernal phantom.
Season Storm must be absolutely gigantic.
Yes, that could be a win con, to be honest.
Unfortunately, against the demon, it's not looking so hot. But that thing could win the game super fast if he can find some way to not die to this big thing. Though Aaron does have the twist reality. Okay, it looks like he's not going for the demon. He wants his opponent to play into it, so he's just going for the looter here.
Yeah, counter any relevant thing once you're about to.
Yeah, he's just going to put lethal on board. without the Vile Mutilator. Yeah,
So escaping.
his opponent is going to be very frightened when he sees that he's discarding an Eat to Extinction here.
So escaping that. Wait, where's this? Yeah, the escaping that card drains for one, right? It makes
Yep,
no. Doesn't it drain for many? Because it's each time. Oh, it only triggers once per
I
turn,
believe it's
maybe.
just one instance. It's like
Yeah.
whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard.
I mean, one is for the payment and one is for the escape. So doesn't it trigger twice? Let me check that. Soul Innervation? No, what's it called? Soul Servitude.
I think Soul Enervation is only counts for creatures because was there a drain
Oh,
there? Oh yeah, there was.
I looked away.
He got a 2/2 though out of it. Infernal Phantom. I think Aaron's gonna allow this to resolve here. I think he's gonna not allow this to resolve here. And he just wins the game on his turn with a Vile
Okay,
Mutilator.
Soul Innervation only triggers off one or more creatures. So you have to escape a creature card, basically, to get
I
it to
mean,
trigger.
he should. I mean, if he counters this, he just wins, like just straight up.
Yeah. It's not relevant now. It's
I mean,
just.
even if he doesn't win, he counter. Even if he doesn't counter it, he wins because he has Vile Mutilator to get rid of the Phantom. Actually, no, it's not exactly that as clean as that. But he's gonna do this again. Yeah, he's gonna drain.
Yep.
I mean, he
That's
could
just
have also
simple.
just countered, but
I think he didn't want to show.
oh, the counter spell. Yeah, that makes sense.
Swing out here means 5 damage. It seems like lethal.
It's exactly 5. Yeah, okay. He doesn't have to do anything else. All right, he's the expert. All right, really fun first game here. So if all the games are like this, we are in for quite a match. So yeah, we got the 68 card deck here for Aaron.
It's 66 over here, and
He is bringing in a duress. He immediately put in a duress.
I think Pyroclasma was removed. Obviously not great once you cast the
And
Bother.
just of note, as far as rares that we saw, the Mask of Gristlebrand is not in the deck.
Okay.
That was the equipment.
Yeah, I could see that. I can't see a Jack-o'-lantern came in, fixing and card draw kind of.
Yeah, so I think he brought in some extra counter spells here. Convolute, possibly deny the divine from sideboard. So yeah, I know he's up 3 cards right now. So
Deny the Divine is not going to be
the Barter
especially
and
good
Blood
again.
look particularly bad.
Deny the Divine won't be incredibly good against this spell-heavy deck.
Yeah, I mean, still hitting a key creature is pretty good. I think he's agreed with me silently that the Barter and Blood looks bad. I'm not. I'm just not a fan of Barb Servitor. I just don't think I would have it in my deck. Period. But maybe he sees something he likes in it.
What is Barb Servitor again?
That's that 4 mana 1/1, the suspect creature. The rare.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, not my favorite. So he's got 28 lands here. I don't know if that's the correct number, but that's the number he's playing.
There might have been something else changed, but I saw the Jack-o'-lantern come in for the Pyroclasm and not too much else.
Yeah, he's got a couple of cards here, like pieces of the puzzle. I'm not like a huge fan of. I think it's like 3 mana. Look at the top 5. Put all instants and sorceries in your hand. He took out the Deny the Divine, which I think was one of the cards he brought in, but I'm not again not 100% certain. But I know he brought in a Duress and a Convolute so far. He's looking for one more cut here. Yeah, really fun game. So if if
It's a multi 5.
if we get all the games like this, we're gonna have a really fun evening here.
Yeah, and it was a multi 5, and black creatures weren't quite big enough to put the pressure on. So
Yeah,
the Celestis.
both these decks are like very scrappy. Like Aaron's got like a couple rares that are like very very good, but otherwise just a scrappy little deck with some removal and kind of like I was saying earlier, like just remove stuff and win with whatever's left in play. Like look what he had at the end. It was just like random bodies in play. Two twos from his Cadaver Lab or Defiled Crypt.
Michael has quite a few enchantment based removal, aura blue aura based removals, which technically not that great against a sack deck with some sack things going on.
Yeah, Aaron is not like strictly a sack deck, but he does have some sacrifice going on here. Kind of a bit of a junky starting hand here, but probably still going to keep it because he has stuff he can do. What's Michael working with there?
Michael, Michael had to get rid of a one lander,
Oh no,
like
another
a lot, like
mulligan. You hate to do
kind of
this.
have
Like
to have.
you play your heart out for 6 weeks, make it to the Mega draft. Looks like a pretty solid deck, and then just you know you're just not allowed to play. So in hand here for Aaron, there's Clandestine Meddler. That's the 3/2 that can suspect something. Murder, Defiled Crypt, Cadaver Lab, and a bunch of lands. 4 islands, as well as the
Okay,
Gulag
Michael
Berserker, which
drew
is.
2 lands for the turn so far. There's a Fear of Death, a Thirst for Meaning, Omen of the Forge. We saw all those
Why
last
is
game.
it that the Meddler? I guess I should know by the name. The Meddler can't suspect itself, but he's just talking about he's just putting other people's names in his mouth. He's just spreading rumors, but yeah, the fact that it can't suspect itself, I think, made that card real worse than it could have been.
All right, the last card in the starting hand is Incinerator of the Guilty, which
Ooh,
is in the hand. He's deciding whether he should get rid of a Fear of a Death or Omen of the Forge with this Thirst for Meaning.
it's
So
gotta
the
be
other
Fear of
draws,
Death. That card's just not good.
that's what it was. He almost got rid of the Forge. Especially the Forge could pick something off now, and he's going to develop a Stalked Researcher.
Okay, he says, I don't like this 3/2 vanilla. Get this thing out of here.
Oh, he's not
Does he have a
developing
counter
Stalked
spell?
Researcher. Secret to the Key, is that an instant?
Yes.
Because that's the other. Then that's what he's doing.
All right,
He
so
wants
I guess
to.
he says this is a good turn to just drop this down and make a 2/2 next turn. It's an expensive Gravedigger, but it's a Gravedigger that can get you more 2/2s later, so there's value in it.
Yeah. So Michael invested in the investigate so that he gets a land. He cracks land and gets a Thundering Falls.
Yeah, I
So
mean he
paid
has
off.
time, right? Like he's not really playing to win with a stocked researcher, and his opponent doesn't have any creatures, so there was no reason for him to play that.
Yep.
Like the reason you play that card is to block, and when your opponent has no creatures, you don't need to play. All right,
Uh huh.
all right. So it gets back this meddler, which I can actually suspect something this time at least.
Generator of the Guilty is, I mean, just happening right now. I don't have
Well,
to think,
it's
speculate.
getting murdered as fast as Aaron can move his cursor. Apparently not. Well, yeah, I would have expected a bit faster casting of the murder here. Okay.
It happened.
I think he was moving around his cursor as if to sarcastically say which one he was deciding to kill.
Do you know if Clandestine Meddler is a vampire? It looks like it.
Looks pretty vampiric over there.
His Vampire's Vengeance is in hand.
It looks vampiric.
Let me see. Clandestine.
He's got pale
He
skin,
is a
long.
vampire.
Yeah.
And Vampire's Vengeance sweeps non-vampires, right?
Yeah. It's make a blood, deal 2 damage to non-vampires.
So that's pretty funny. It has 2 sets far apart from each other.
All right. So yeah. Okay. He's attacking. He's saying. I guess he's saying I'll trade for a 1/1. I
With
guess.
Vampire's Vengeance in hand, these 1/1s aren't going too well with it. But it doesn't look like he's going to be casting that at all anytime soon.
Not unless the Thopters go away. Yes, this isn't exactly working out incredibly well, this Olivia's Midnight Ambush that he's thinking of casting. Of note, we are, despite playing with, the Communal Adjustment, we are playing with the new damage assignment rules here on Arena.
No choice.
Yeah. I mean, the main difference is that the blockers are never ordered. in such a way that anybody can respond to it. Yeah, that's basically it. If you want to cast a trick, you do it before you know how damage is being assigned. Anyway, I think most people are familiar with that. Do we have
Got a
instants
thirst for
here
meaning.
to interfere with combat?
He has a thirst for meaning. A vampire's vengeance is an instant, but it's not gonna. I
Oh,
believe it's an
well,
instant, yeah, but it's not.
that is
Oh wow.
something
Okay.
to exile.
Nothing to do
I
about
don't
that.
think he has a window to like, because like in theory he could like block the Lazav and then Vampire's Vengeance. It, but not if it can be a 6/6.
Thirst for meaning is castable, and that's all he's really got to do.
Yeah, I mean the 6/6 is threatening to wipe his whole board, right? He could turn it into 6/6 immediately.
Doesn't it trigger on attack? When does it
No,
trigger?
it's
Oh, when
combat
it hits.
damage to a player.
When it hits, yeah.
You can I think it's you can collect evidence any amount and then destroy every non-land permanent or creature your opponent has with mana
For that
value less
much.
than or equal. It destroys all your opponent's stuff. I don't know. I imagine it's just creatures. Red doesn't seem like it would be able to destroy enchantments.
It's each creature and each planeswalker.
Oh, Planeswalker, sure.
Each and every one
I
of those
mean, yeah, this is a
planeswalkers.
smart block because the Thopters are dying anyways if he turns into a 6/6. Right, well, here's a 6/6. I mean, this game is going a little more briskly, I'll say. But once again, we see Lazav basically. In the first game, it took over through card advantage. In this game, it's just taking over through, becoming a 6/6 dragon that wipes the board.
Gonna exile a mountain or a vampire's vengeance because Bedlam Reveler is actually in hand. He's trying. He doesn't need cards in hand and for this turn.
How much does the Bedlam Reveler cost?
Oh,
Must be cheap.
oh, that's sad. He got a tormenting voice, and
Okay, he's
he
just
can't
gonna do
cast
this.
it
Yeah, makes
because.
sense.
Oh, I found a braid. Do we have a
Okay,
game?
yep. Nothing in hand here for Aaron. I mean, he does have the Glimpse of Freedom, which will make if he can cast it, it'll make a 2/2 at the very least. Yeah, if Lazav didn't get killed, it was just gonna win because of the dragon.
I mean, two mountains in hand, but Secrets of the Key. Obviously, as you can see that it's hanging out in the graveyard.
All right, he threw away his whole graveyard to find yet another land, so he's got all lands in hand and all lands, a bunch of lands in play.
Celestis now.
So Michael is once again finding his way back in this game, but yeah, Aaron's just got 4 lands here, so this is it's gonna be a difficult one because Michael's got a bunch of cards coming. Yeah,
Yep.
this is where when I lose, I screenshot and send it to my opponent, being like, "I swear it was all lands. I can prove it. I didn't have some random off-color cards in hand that I couldn't cast."
Well, he needed that braid, and he got it right on time. Speaking of lands, though, it's all lands on this side too. Even more lands, if you could believe
Yeah,
it.
but
But
he's got a loot every turn. He's got a scry as well when he wants to if he ever
oh, I
wants to
know
set
that.
up the
I know
homeland.
that. I'm aware, but he's still. I think it's 5 lands in a row or
I
something.
mean, we're looking at the same here for Aaron with the lands. All right, well that's
Magnifying
something
glass.
to dump mana into. Not my favorite card, but all right. He's got a persistent specimen, which if he could find a way to put in the graveyard, and bring it, if he can find a way to put it in the graveyard, he gets to bring it back and trigger the defiled crypt. So that's
That's a
something.
combo. It's a
It's
combo.
better than drawing a land. I'll say that much.
Gonna block at least. Cathartic Pyre is a raid with something other else on it.
Yeah, it's discard 2, draw 2, I believe.
He's got lots of
It's
draw.
like a reverse faithlessly and another land here. Yeah, this is just you know we know how the game works sometimes, and it's cruel.
So no attacks coming in, just a whole lot of card advantage on this side. So eventually.
can scry here as well.
It's an island. Genus Scob. Little. It's a card, I
That's
guess.
a nice one. I never thought a zombie could be as smart as this guy seems to be. He gets prowess. He can flip his power of toughness. Like I thought zombies were
This
dumb, but no, this guy is.
That attack's actively bad, right? You don't want the. He's gonna get bigger, more of a board
Yeah, I
now.
think once Michael sees this interaction happen once, he'll know not to play into that again. It's just
He's
it's
reading it now.
the defile crypt just is not obvious and all the things that it can do. Yeah, he's realizing. He says, "Okay, not doing that again." Okay, this is a card that could draw you maybe potentially out of this. The mysterious tome.
Okay. Grindy game here.
I mean, the first game was real grindy too. So we are, yeah. These two decks are both looking to get little values at a time and just extend the game out and outvalue the opponent and win with whatever you find once you've outvalued them. Um, so that's what we're seeing in both games here, both
What
battling
was
for
drawn
value.
now?
And we got
Did he
another
draw
land.
a card?
We got land number 14 now. So that's half the lands in his deck are gone.
Oh, seize the storm. Might do something.
Okay, yeah, that's real good. What you don't wanna shock the persistent specimen? Yeah, I think he knows attacking is not necessarily the way to go here.
Michael's counting the stuff in graveyard. It doesn't tell you on seize the storm apparently. He
Well,
needs a murder.
it's a 9/9. The persistent specimen will not be very good against that. And he's got enough mana to just do the whole thing. Yeah, two 9/9s. I mean, they have trample, so that gets around the skeleton.
Yep, the enemy of skeleton.
So every 2 turns, he can tap one of them with the artifact there.
Gonna need to find that removal soon.
Well, he's gonna go digging here. Pieces of the puzzle. Reveal the top 5. Put up to 2 instant or sorceries into your hand.
That could totally find him two murders, can't it?
Yeah, this was a card I never really liked, and you can see why. Just dump a bunch of good cards in the graveyard and put a bad card in your hand. Yeah, that was my experience of pieces of the puzzle as a Magic card. All right, well at least he gets to draw another card here. Yeah, I'm happy to see a card like Defile Crypt getting a chance to shine here. Yeah, Michael's really going to be in trouble when he draws his 12 drop that gets convoluted. Actually, convolute would
Delta?
have come in handy against the Seize the Storm, I would say, like the flashback half.
Yeah, totally.
But I can't see Michael tapping out for spells now. Tapping all his mana here. Another land, jeez.
He's really in need of
Yeah, so he
that removal.
basically has to take 9 here. He can tap one down, but then he can't tap them next turn.
12th land played.
Yes, but how
A
many
lot
is
of them
that?
have been. He's got one more in a cathartic fire. There's been a bunch put in the graveyard from looting though.
Well, that's probably about the difference here, because I feel like they've drawn like a similar number of cards, but Michael's just been able to dump the lands and find other stuff.
Improving board with that attack. Oh no, you
Okay.
need 3 mana to bring it back.
Yeah, so he is tapping a bit lower here, but like he knows the convolute, so he can basically never get hit by it. Yeah, I love Celestis. This card was always so underrated, I think, and limited. I think it's just like a first pick card.
Mana rock.
I just can't imagine there would be too many. In in the world of play boosters where you can get 3 rares in pack, maybe not, but in like a normal pack where there's only one rare and it's a Celestis, like that's I'm always taking it. It's just rock solid. Drag the Canal doesn't seem very good here.
Oh, I thought that was dragged to the delirium sweeper, not delirium.
No, it's the
Descent.
Demir rare from NCAM
Yeah,
makes a token.
the descent one.
He's deciding
And
if that's good
Ixalan is on.
enough. I mean, it's probably not, I would say. He's on the verge of dying here.
Yeah, 9/9's killing him.
Yeah, you need a removal, sir. If you can find a removal, okay, he's drawn the murder.
I'm seeing something happen here. These things grow dynamically, so if you cathartic pyres a blocker, and it's gonna grow and have trample still, it's gonna get him real low.
Yeah, with the right draws, he may be able to kill him even through the murder.
Yeah, he has only unable to scream and pyre hound otherwise in the hand.
Okay, those don't trigger it, but one of the spells
Oh,
does.
no. Omen of the Sea works a lot like an instant, but it's not.
Nope. It'll trigger prowess though, which might matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, that was one thing I always found a bit annoying is that from set to set, the red it would change whether cards cared about instant or sorceries or any non-creature. But
Now they have to make it work with the mechanics of the set.
yeah, it makes sense.
He's doing this. I don't know if I like doing it sorcery pre-combat, just because you don't know if the opponent's gonna swing out.
Okay, well, he's attacking all. Right,
It's
so
a
it gets a
2/2 to block
2/2.
it.
Yeah, like I said, happy to see Defile Crypt performing nicely here. It's a card I always wished I could have done more with. I just never really drafted decks that it was good in.
All up to Aaron now for the blocks. Yeah, so this 9/9 could become a 10/10 in instant speed.
And you can't really block the big trampler. It just has to throw bodies in front of the other creatures, I assume.
Double block's not gonna work out well at all though for the cathartic.
I imagine, yeah, double block isn't going to be good. He's deciding if he just wants to soak up some damage here, and he's decided the answer is yes, I would like to soak up some damage. Maybe not. Okay.
I mean, another now there's another trampler on the field that makes stuff even worse for him.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to Cathartic Pyre here. It's triple chump block and damage still getting through.
Yep, not needed.
So not sure what Aaron can draw here. I guess he can draw land number 15 for the insult to injury here. But imagine we're getting towards a third game. All right, he's gonna say, "Let me convolute this. Let me make it slightly more complicated for you." But
Yeah, it won't be relevant for the rest of the game. So
well, yeah, that's again the reason why I'm not a super big fan of cards like that. They just scale really badly.
that's a glimmer burst.
I'll take it. And we get to loot again. Yeah, Celestis is so strong. All right, there's another murder there. So
Okay.
these tokens are gonna just he's gonna work through the tokens, and he has a tap. So and yeah, like these decks are very very scrappy here, both of them. I think.
So many cards. I don't know how many cards Michael has. He's drawn so many with the glimmer burst coming now and Celestis. Who
I
knows?
mean, Aaron's drawn a boatload of cards as well, except more of them were lands than not. I think. Right, Glimmer Burst. Everyone's drawing cards. Everyone's doing stuff. They're triggering Michael's triggering
Why did he do
prowess.
that?
Aaron's making tutus. We are having a
Not sure
good
why he
time
did it.
playing Magic here.
Not sure why he did it in
Right,
response.
so he's
He's
gonna
using the mana.
Sporogenic here. I assume on the 1/1.
I think it was a mistake. I don't know if he wrote oops or not, but he did it in response to that instead of end step for whatever reason.
Can't can't he just sack a 1/1 here?
I guess it's not getting any better.
Well, you put it on the 1/1, and I at least have to sack one of the other creatures.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
At the very least, you put on the 1/1, and they lose like the scob, right?
Uh-huh. Fear of death. Not exactly what he needed to find, but it's a card.
Right. Interesting. He's tapping that rather than murdering it. Okay. I guess he's gonna murder. I mean, I'm not sure. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, the Pyre Hound was the one to tap,
I
wasn't
assume he
it?
was gonna. Yeah, I just assumed he was gonna murder that thing.
But Pyre Hound dies when it takes damage, or is that only the crack skull?
No, it's that one too.
Okay, so makes some
But it's
sense.
still gonna trample.
Yep. There's no instant or sorcery outside of Cathartic Pyre to grow it, but that's probably a good play though. If you Cathartic Pyre whatever's blocking the Pyre Hound,
Well, it won't take damage anymore.
and it'll trample in for extra.
Right. So it's just again, not a very sustainable strategy of the triple chump block here that we saw last turn as
That's
well.
exactly what he's doing. That's 4 damage now.
Yeah, that'll get it through.
If he's in a YOLO try and top deck another murder, he can murder the Pyre Hound.
Yeah, I guess that's his hope here.
He does get a 2/2 blocker and this persistent specimens next turn, blocking the entire ground.
Yeah, but he's dead unless he kills uh, this token. But I mean, I guess the same would have been true if he took damage from Pyrehound. Like he just dies to the Pyrehound anyway. It's the same. It's the same dying. It's just be a different creature. Another land here, but he does get a draw with this,
He gets another draw, right?
and it's
With
a
the
siege zombie, which is not going to be good. Does he
He's
have
gonna get
five
another
cards in
draw,
the graveyard again?
and possibly
No,
not.
he just emptied his graveyard like a turn back. All right, so we are getting a lengthy game here, but you know, very well played, very tight on both sides, very closely matched, I would say.
If he top Pyre Hound, that could have gone differently. I mean, he tapped it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, the Pyre Hand was going to kill him anyway, potentially, but I guess with the enchantment on it, he could block it. Well, he tried to.
Yeah, there's some sense in it. A lot of card draw.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's just my bias of not liking the card, but I would definitely not want Convolute just close to ever. One thing I'm surprised he's not playing is the Naiad of Hidden Coves. That's one I thought he would be playing for sure because of all of his instants. He's bringing in. He is actually bringing in the Underworld Charger, the horse.
Yeah, it does fill graveyard pretty well.
Yeah, he
Although
definitely
that,
can fill the graveyard. We have seen that without a doubt he is capable of doing that.
yeah, but actually, it seems pretty bad when you consider that there's a lot of aura-based removal.
Looks like he's gone down a land to 27. That feels low to me. Just based on the fact that we play like 25 or 26 with 60 cards. Yeah, again, I'm not sure of the exact amount. So 27 feels a little bit low. His deck is pretty low curve though. Like he has one card in his deck above 4 mana, which is that big demon. Basically everything else that was above 4 mana ended up getting cut. Oh no, he has some five
Mhm.
drops. He has a few 5 drops.
Sometimes you just draw the right stuff anyway.
Yeah, I thought something was in a different spot. Now he's got defiled crypt you could play on turn 4, so he's got like three 5 drops and a 7 drop. 27 just again, I haven't done the math, but it feels a little low. Did you see how many lands Michael was running for his deck?
No, I didn't.
So 64, he probably just added one land above
It's
like
66 cards.
oh yeah, he's 66. Okay, so he's probably about 20. like I would expect you're playing 27 or 28 on 66, not 60.
He does have a lot of looting and rummaging. Like at least between looting and rummaging, I think we saw 5 or 6 cards
Yeah,
that
and
do that. So he
I'm
could.
sure they've run the numbers. I doubt anybody is just like ballparking, just being just guessing. These guys manage their deck size the whole league, so they figured out how many lands to play and they made top eight. So
Interesting starting hand here. 3 lands, so it's keepable, but there's no creatures. Unable to scream, demand answers, omen, and the hero Celestis.
that sounds like an absolute keep.
Omen of the Forge, not of the Sea.
Okay, interesting. Interesting decision here. If he wants to duress, he just drew a duress, which he cited in after the first round. Yeah, so in hand he has
Good.
duress. He has Olivia's ambush. He has 2 blue cards and a swamp. So no islands just yet. He's drawn a murder. So he can kill stuff, but oh, get out of here, Celestis. Yeah, that was about as fast as you can. The Celestis was
I
such
was
a
just,
big player last game.
I was just talking about rummaging and looting. You get the tormenting voice. He already had a demand answers, and
Yeah, but getting
oh,
rid of
he's.
Celestis is really big here.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying there's a lot of ways to rummage and loot in this deck. Jack o' Lantern and Vampire's Vengeance. He'll hit a creature eventually.
Yeah, now we're just stuck on this unfortunate no blue situation, which we've seen it before. We'll see it again. It's not great.
Let's see.
So was the Jack o' Lantern brought in just as like a graveyard hate?
Um, I'm not sure specifically why, but I know he took out Pyroclasm for it. I mean, that makes sense.
It exiles something from a graveyard, right?
Yeah, it adds. It fixes exiles from a graveyard and draws a card. I think. Let me check. It. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, just yeah. You pay 1, tap and sack it to get rid of something in a graveyard, and draw a card, and then you can exile it from graveyard to fix the filter.
Okay, sure. I mean, so both players aren't doing much, but Michael has the ability to play whatever he needs to, including this Firehound, which is going to get murdered.
There's an Infernal Phantom, which I guess it's a Duskmourn card. I
Yeah.
forget which one.
That's a 4 mana 2/3. It gets +2/+0 whenever you have an enchantment come in.
All
And
right.
then when it dies, it deals damage to anything equal to its power. Right, he has drawn the island
Couple.
here, so he does get to cast something this turn. He's just deciding whether he wants to Organ Hoarder or draw a card, and he said, "Let me draw a card." These games are not decided by Organ Hoarders being played on curve or whatever. So
But the Celestis gone. The mana sinks are one-time use here. They're not exactly mana sinks with these 2 omens. But oh, he has thirst for meaning now. Might find him something.
okay, I mean, every time he's casted, you discard an enchantment, which is what you want to do with that card, I guess. Right, draw a card. Barbed Servitor. Yuck.
With unable to scream showing though, it's visible.
What's showing?
The unable to scream is visible, so it kind of deals with that.
Yes. Yeah, so I think he's just gonna play Organ Hoarder here.
Yeah, so Thirst for Meaning Mountain is the hand. You got the couple things on the field and the jack-o'-lantern and the unable to scream.
Oh, that's a Nightmare Shepherd.
Oh, haven't seen that one yet.
Nope. And neither has I don't think Aaron saw. I don't think Michael saw it. So
Oh,
that'll be news to him.
he binned a disturbed creature, huh? Right?
Yeah, the Archivist. Yes. So Aaron has to basically decide what he wants to get unable to scream. Then I don't think it's going to be the demon.
Funny enough, unable to scream is a showing card. He has 2 similar cards in Fear of Death and the disturbing thing that you can shuffle back to 3 aura-based blue removals.
All right, so we're looks like we're going to be in for another grindy game.
Well, one of them
which
was
I'm sure everybody in the
Mulligan.
audience is enjoying. Yeah, these decks are just really closely matched. And like there's like
Very.
a couple rares in each deck that can really swing the game, but the decks are definitely not full of those rares. And they both have answers to seemingly most of the things. So
A
it's
whole
just
lot
going to
of
come
draw.
down to like the card advantage wars, which we saw in the first game go to Aaron, and the second game go to Michael. All right, here comes the
Oh,
scavenger.
Jack-o'-lantern deniable? Jack-o'-lantern could deny what he targets, right?
I believe so,
Oh, he
but
chooses
I
to get
imagine he
drained.
just like he can just use the jack o' lantern right now, right, to get rid of
To
the archivist.
the archivist, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like removal.
I mean, he didn't get to cast the archivist, so it is just get to eat it for free without having to go through the front side.
Yeah, looks like he might be doing that. No, he didn't. On top was this card, Whispering Wizard.
All right, that's another good one.
Yep, for sure.
He does have the midnight ambush here, so it's gonna take care of that.
Getting the 1/1 though. Oh, he's bouncing it. That means it can drain again. Not
Okay, I mean,
irrelevant.
I don't think Aaron's like too upset about that.
Well, it could drain again, but if you don't drain, you can take the jack-o'-lantern out if no land is played.
Yeah, but in
So
response, the jack o' lantern can just be used, right?
yeah,
Oh, it costs
if
a
he has a
mana.
mana open. No, but actually he has a mountain in hand, which he didn't play out.
It costs a mana, right? But
And
I imagine he just wants to exile a creature for the trigger. The drain two is very good.
yeah,
Yeah, he says I'm through with
the
this.
we'll see if he wants to drain because he gets his flyer. Jack-o'-lantern can't hit on his flyer if he removes
Aaron's
jack-o'-lantern.
just got tons of cards in hand here, so this is gonna serve him well, I think.
We'll see what he does if he plays Diagraph.
I mean, he just gets to trade cleanly with this Infernal Phantom and not have to deal with the Infernal Phantom being able to kill anything. Like, yeah, I think Aaron's pretty happy with like these exchanges here. Like getting his Diagraph Scavenger bounce, fine. Trading with the Infernal Phantom and not losing anything else, fine.
Okay, he did the drain.
Yeah, I was pretty sure
Oh,
he would.
funny. Wow. I don't know if there's a removal, but Seize the Storm was drawn that hero, that game ender from last game.
No removal at this time, but we know he has plenty
How
in the deck, so
you can
let's
tap
see what he does
stuff.
with this. Diver Scab is going to be good against a Seize the Storm token, though.
Oh wow, yeah, that's in
But
hand now.
he needs his blue. Yeah, so he has
Oh
the
boy,
Diver Scab, piece of the puzzle, Nightmare Shepherd, Barbed Servitor, Twist Reality. So two double blue cards that he can't cast. And now another Swamp here.
it's not a good draw.
Yeah, if
Fold.
like I said, if the game, if all the rest of the games tonight are going to be of this length, we are in for a very long and entertaining evening. This
Seize the
is
Storm is reduced cost now. I think it would be 4+6, so 10 mana to do both. He's short.
yeah, this is pretty much like this game is going to be a classic. We'll say. I won't use the M word. That
Most memorable moment.
well, no, I didn't say it. I just said a classic. All right, yeah, this piece of the puzzle. Not
Murder,
sure.
right? Is that
Not
murder?
sure. I'm a fan.
We snap murder. He might have wanted to say that if he knew Seize the Storm's coming.
Like both times just getting one card. That's not. I mean, you do get to dump like a bunch of cards in your graveyard, but yeah, not a super big fan. All right, let's see what Michael does with his turn. What do we see are his options here?
I mean, it sees the storm,
Yep.
which the murder was just was removed on Skrillex.
Yeah, once he gets an island, the Diver Scab will deal with that. But if he doesn't get an island, might be
Probably
trouble here. Or if
he's likely activating the thing to draw. If not,
he's drawn
because
Etrata, which I believe is Death Touch, but that would be his own
he
play
activates
here.
the tome. He wants to activate it so he can get the tapping going next turn.
Yeah, I think he wants to. I would say you could draw a card here. You could draw a card and then play the Diver Scout if he gets an island, and if not, he could just play other stuff.
Yeah, if it's a blue, that's great for him. After all these draws, he's on color issue.
Okay, playing the Nightmare Shepherd is not bad here because it means the Diregraph Scavenger can die and come back as another Death Toucher.
True, it does. It does
And
block
Entrada,
it.
so they both have Death Touch. So if they die, he gets he gets 1/1 tokens with Death Touch, which is great.
But can Jackal? I think Jack o' Lantern can respond to that, right?
Oh, can kill it on the stack, yeah, or not kill it, but exile it from graveyard.
Not the worst thing in the world since there's relevant stuff
This
in the
Jack o'
graveyard
Lantern's like
anyway.
hanging over this game like an ominous shadow, just threatening
Of course, then
to mess with one of Aaron's things. Yeah, so Aaron basically had to have seen this coming, but he ran out of other stuff to do. So I mean, yeah, he could block with the Etrata here. He will not get it back. The Nightmare Shepherd is now a toy and has lost all of its abilities.
his options
It's a demon
block with.
toy, you know, the best kind of toy.
Mm-hmm. Decides he wants to get rid of that. Okay. There's no trick happening here. The only other card in hand is Mountain and Orad of the Mountain Blaze, the Remager. But of course, he's the Storm.
Well, you're just gonna flash back here, yeah. Okay. What was interesting is that because Aaron tapped out last turn, he did not get to draw a card and flip his artifact.
Mm-hmm. Still looking for that blue. It's gonna be really, really good if he finds it.
So he's drawn Vile Mutilator here, which is not an answer. He's still casting
Uh,
it, but unfortunately, it's not going to kill a token. So normally
he's
it's an
at
upside that you can't kill a token, but I guess here, well,
he's at
opponent
he's at
has the
21. He
Torment
could
anyway.
afford maybe to tap the tome to get a tap on next
Yeah, he's
turn,
in no
right?
rush to resolve this. Like you would like this to actually kill a real creature, I think. Yeah, I think he's rethinking it here. I think I'm looking to draw a card, and then you can play the. I mean, if you really want, you can play Barb Servitor, or you can play the Stitchwing from the not the Stitchwing, but the Archivist. Okay, he said, nah, I'll draw a card. It's a swamp.
Just what he needed.
Right, so I think he's gonna put this little 2/1 in play. It's just not good against the
Jack,
1/1. That's the problem with that.
the Jack-o'-lantern never got it. Ooh, Silent Hall Creeper's a draw.
Okay, no removal for that at the time, but it will die to the Vile Mutilator if it comes into play. Yeah, well, here comes 6 damage. Right.
Oriad. Wait, Oriad. Oh no, you can get rid of your Omen of the Forge, right?
Yeah,
In response
he
to
has drawn a murder here, so I think he'd be wise
sorry.
to. I think he'd be wise to get this Hall Creeper off the board immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mutilator situation also, he has the two auras attached to creatures, which is what happened last
Yeah, I mean
time.
he's not in danger this turn. He gets to tap down the big thing. He's going to offer the trade here just to loot, see an extra card, and he sees a Fester Leech, which is not what he's looking for.
Still on one mountain. I mean,
The
island.
island, yeah. I mean, he's got the murder, so and he's got the tapping, so he's not in danger, and he has all the cards as we can see. So as long as he could play his cards in some reasonable order, he'll be fine. I mean, this 6/5 is just going to be very scary. It's going to take out an Omen and a 1/3. Yeah, here comes the demon.
Funny that the Scob was never played just because of the blue situation.
Yeah, the Scott would have been a great answer to the token, but I mean, for now he can.
Omen of the Forge. Yeah, there. That's the
Yes, we'll
enchantment
see
gamer.
what Michael decides to do because Michael does get to attack with one of his creatures.
Draw for turn was exactly what Aaron wants. Island.
Yes, Aaron would be very well to do with an island. Okay, he says, I don't want to take 6, I'll take 1. Anything good over there?
Ardent Ornamental. Get an enchantment. What do you call it? Sorcery
Elementalist, yeah.
instant.
Yeah, so Aaron has these three
Right.
cards that have been in his hand basically almost the whole game with Twist Reality, Diverse Cab, and Barb Servitor, and he has a murder that he picked up on this last turn.
Looks like in the graveyard there's tormenting voice type stuff. There's drag under. I think that was about all his options were.
No burn spell.
There's for meaning. It's all card draw spells. Vampire's Vengeance or drag under.
Yeah, Mike. Aaron's taking a look now and seeing. He's actually, yeah, he's seeing that there's nothing that scares him too much. Yeah, he's just gonna dig.
Yep, he's got 2 lands in hand, so. Incinerator. The Knight of the Divine and Thirst for Meaning.
All right, he's got the island, so now he can get this token off the board.
Yeah, is there any answer to Incinerator? Is it tap, right?
He has a murder in
Tapping.
hand as well, but he can tap
Oh,
something next turn.
so that this Denied the Divine cannot counterspell that, so.
No. All right, so he's just gonna go and attack here. So imagine he's going to allow this Silent Hall Creeper to attack rather than murder it.
Oh, he doesn't know about the bomb just drawn.
Yeah, he can stave off the Incinerator of the Guilty for a turn with the backside of the tome. It looks like he's tapping out for Barb Servitor, which I just when I have the tome going, I don't really want to. I want to activate every turn. If it's me, I want to be able to activate it.
It represents lethal if it gets through and the air guy gets through.
I mean,
Or
what Michael could do now is he could play the dragon, and then he could make the Hall Creeper a copy of the dragon, and just have 2 dragons. Like I know you lose value not getting the +1 counters, but it's just going to be so hard to fight against 2 of them.
Fuss Bother was drawn.
So
3 blockers.
I don't know if you want to skip the counters, but if he's afraid of a removal, making 2 dragons is super safe.
Yeah, so Fuss Bother, Thirst for Meaning, Deny the Divine, and Incinerator the Guilty here. He sees he's dead to murder if he plays Incinerator out.
Not dead, but
But Servitor, if it gets blocked, it
oh
deals
yeah, that is
damage.
true. Yeah, the Servitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget that text. I always forget there's good text on it because I just always see the bad text, which is that it can't block and it's a 4 mana 1/1. I kind of stopped reading after that. I mean, I know what it does. It's just like it's hard to get past the baseline being so
Supposed to shoot
important.
it.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a couple important turns here.
Dragging Thirst for Meaning, looking for something.
Okay.
2 lines and a magnifying glass.
And yep, dragon.
Looks like game over.
Yeah, I mean we just murder the dragon, and after a very lengthy back and forth battle here, Aaron is going to take home the victory here. So we're going to see him battle very shortly in round two. So we'll see that very shortly.